Hey folks, Blair from Nose Creek Sport Physiotherapy with my special guest today, William. And William's going to talk about low back pain. And William, we have lots of different types of low back pains that we come across in the clinic and that people experience on a daily basis. So let's just talk about those today.
Sure.
There's a couple different types of back pain. So we've kind of talked about, I'll let you kind of lead it. You talk about the two that we're interested in today.
Yes, the two that we wanted to focus on today here were back fractures and sprains. So if we talk a little bit about what those are, fractures are actually like chips or like cracks into the bones in your back. So there's in your spine like 5 lower lumbar bones, and then there's also a couple other bones below that kind of comprise your low back. Those can get chipped or cracked. Oftentimes that happens from falls or like an impact directly to the back. Whereas sprains, those happen to your ligaments. Also strains happen to muscles where things basically just get stretched out a little bit too much, and that causes a bit of sometimes a little bit of tearing and causes irritation that way. The main differences between those two are like they both cause a lot of pain usually. Both make it quite difficult to move, but that kind of fracture to the back oftentimes is just this constant dull aching kind of pain that it just doesn't get better no matter like what you do, no matter what position you're in. Oftentimes sitting and standing up, both, because they put weight into your back, those are both very difficult. Whereas in your sprains and strains situation, they're also quite tough in the first few days, but usually they settle down after the first few days, and you'll find that then you have positions that are much more comfortable, oftentimes like laying down, where you don't have stress into the back, it feels a lot better. Or it has certain positions, like if you're bending down, it starts to hurt a bit more. If you're bending, you're twisting, or trying to pick things up, that can bother it a lot too. But there will be instances where it just doesn't really hurt that much, or sometimes not even at all.
Awesome. Well, there you go. So there's bony injuries, which are those really sharp pains that you get in the back from a direct blow or a bad fall. And then there's the sprains, which are from like lifting, like you said. And they have a different pattern of movement for pain. Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. And then, so Will, what does somebody do when they have an injury like that and they're not sure what to do? What should they do?
So if you think that you've got a fracture, you've got that constant pain that it just doesn't go away, it doesn't really change no matter what you do, those would be more appropriate to seek medical attention. So if it's like an injury on the weekend where you can't see your family doctor, going to the emergency even might be better option than waiting. If you are a little unsure, it's probably still good to see your family doctor about that. We do see sprains and strains here a lot all the time. In those cases, if you do think you have more of a sprain or a strain type situation, usually after the first few days, then it'll be appropriate to see physio. We can get started on moving you around, getting you better, relaxing some of those muscles and stuff and building up strength. But if it is one of those fractured bony injury situations, those typically take 6 or 8 weeks where you have to give it some rest through the medical process before you can start to then do that loading and that healing that way.
Yeah, so rehab starts a bit later with a fracture, whereas the ligament stuff we can start sooner, I guess. Okay. Well, that's great. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And again, my name's Blair, and this is Will from Nose Creek Sport Physiotherapy, where we get you moving faster and feeling better. And if you want to learn more about this and do a bit of a deep dive, we actually have an article on our website. So check out our website at www.nosecreeksphysiotherapy.com and click on the blog section on the task line, and then just search lumbar fracture versus lumbar sprain, and you'll have the article there to review in a bit more detail if you like. All right, so take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.